Y'all, this is some Lifetime movie Tyler Perry ass shit. Let me tell y'all the scene. I don't know if y'all seen the story time or not, but I'm finna give it to y'all. This the girl, her page like Lots Queens or something. I don't know her from a can of paint, but I'm finna tell y'all the tea because this is some tea. I wouldn't even call this tea, y'all. The way this girl just told this story, like, it need to be a whole fucking documentary, y'all. But I'm finna give y'all the whole story time right now. Even though she ain't finished yet, but I'm gonna just update y'all so y'all can go on her page and watch it too. So mind y'all, she said like her baby daddy was like a big cheater. He cheated with everything that walk in, talk in, look alike, whatever, woo woo. So she went through his phone one night or whatever, and she had seen his number or whatever. She got the number, screenshot it, put it on her phone, searched on Cash App. It was a dude. So her man is DL. She found out her man was DL. But her baby daddy is abusive. So she ain't abusive. But her baby daddy is abusive. So she didn't want to open her mouth right then and then. It's like, he tried to flip the script on her, like, probably like, oh, why you going through my phone, this and that, woo, 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 woo. So she didn't say nothing at all. She just, like, screenshot it, Cash App it, like, trying to, like, do her investigation, trying to see who it is. Whole time, it's another man. Y'all, so how they texting the boy and her baby daddy, it seems like he texting a female. But whole time's to do. So she caught on when she saw a message in his phone. Like, I guess the boy had sent her baby daddy, like, did you like what we did or whatever? So homegirl over here playing this smart, y'all. She got that number or whatever. She stayed close to his phone, locked this shit, ended up going to sleep, playing her role. Mind y'all, homegirl got kids. So she was saying like she really have to play it smart because if he found out that she went through his phone and seen that, baby, he's gonna unalive her. Okay, boom. She wake up Friday morning, take her kids to school, whatever. So her baby daddy works Monday through Thursday, quote unquote, but Fridays or whatever, he claims that he does overtime at his job or whatever. So now after she done seen the message, a woman's intuition is never wrong. So something was telling her like, look, this man ain't going to work. Something is up. So after she take her kids to school or whatever, she comes back home. Mind you, y'all, it's still Friday. Her baby daddy did not leave the house yet. So he ends up leaving or whatever. She leaves shortly after him, following him. He takes the elevator, she takes the steps. So she follows him to the car, whatever. He pulls off. She pulls off like a few seconds after him, tracing him, but not trying to be on so it could be seen or whatever. So her baby daddy pulls across the street or whatever. Whoever he cheat with stay literally across the street from him. So whatever. She's watching him walk up to the door. He has a key fob and everything. So it's like, baby, you really out here just doing you? You have a whole key fob to the boy apartment you cheating with? Oh, this is insane. Oh, you been gay. Y'all saw her baby daddy upstairs with the boy doing whatever. She don't know. So she's sitting outside. So as she's sitting outside, she was like, okay, let me put this number in Cash App again. Whoop, whoop. So she went on Facebook, searched it up. Why is it the boy a St. Louis police officer? Found y'all, this the same police officer that been pulling her over, giving her tickets after tickets after tickets. She thinking like, oh, I have a black car and my tints is like really dark. So she's just like racking up on tickets. Whole time, this the same police officer that's messing with her baby daddy. Oh, hold up. And the police officer that's pulling her over is a female. But it's the same last name as her baby daddy's boyfriend. We're going to just say that whoever he's sneaking around with. Y'all keep in mind that the female police officer that's pulling her over is the wife of her baby daddy's boyfriend who he's cheating with. So now homegirl playing connect the dots. So it's like everybody knew around her but her. So homegirl ended up pulling off, y'all. She going home because she get ready to pack all her stuff and go to her mama's house. So now she pack all her stuff. She had to pick up her kids from school. Mind y'all, it's still Friday morning. Like I told y'all, she had to drop her kids off to school, whatever. While her phone's connected to the car, she get a no caller ID call on her phone. So why is the police officer, the female, we go just say the wife or whatever, calling her phone? So now homegirl confused, like, why you calling me? Like what you got to talk about? Because the whole time you knew, but you playing in my face. So the police officer name is Dana. So Dana was like, oh, I got to talk to you. Woo, woo. Y'all, why this police officer, which is her name is Dana, trying to play like homegirl sleeping with her husband? Whole time, Dana, you know that this girl baby daddy sleep with your husband. Stop playing. Homegirl let her know, like, this ain't that. My baby daddy sleeping with your husband, not me. Which she already knew that. So Dana like, let's meet somewhere. So now Daniel like, let's meet somewhere. So homegirl like, shit, meet well. Then homegirl was like, wait, the gas station you been pulling me over at? So homegirl shit like, okay, let's meet up. Boom. So she said like, when they met up, Dana like, she cool as fuck. They vibing and kicking it off, whatever. So the first thing that came to Dana's mind was like, let's unalive him. Which like, she talk about her husband and the girl baby daddy. So homegirl like, shoot, let's do our job. Let's like unalive them, woo the woo. She was like, my baby, they got a health insurance policy, whatever. I think homegirl was trying to cash out on a check, baby, because there must be some coins in there. She was like, let's do it. Man, homegirl said the quicker the better. They unalive him because she finna cash in. So Dana telling homegirl like, you need to go home, you need to play it cool, don't say nothing, don't open your mouth, don't run no rat through no pantry, woo the woo. So homegirl was like she boiling, like she hot, like how much stuff she found out today. But she go home, she play it cool, whatever. So she go home with the kids or whatever. She cooking, he walk in, hey baby, how your day was? It was good, whatever. And he was like, yeah, he had a good day too. And she's like, yeah, I bet you did, in her head though. Playing it cool. So now baby daddy come to homegirl like, oh baby, I'm finna go shoot some pool with the guys or whatever. So homegirl like, okay, go ahead. He walks out the door. Dana called homegirl like, he left or whatever. Shoot, her man left too. So Dana like, let's meet up and figure out like what's gonna be our next move or whatever. But homegirl keep it in the back of her head like, this all been moving funny since day one because you knew that my baby daddy and your husband was messing around and you playing in my face. Then like, why you just coming to me about the situation? So Daniel and homegirl meet up. Why? Daniel gonna tell homegirl, I got something to confess to you. My husband and your baby daddy been messing around for 6 months. The devil. 6 months. So homegirl like, she already knew that Daniel knew because ain't no way you follow me, you keep giving me all these tickets or whatever. So homegirl like, it's cool, because she finna unlive both of these niggas and she finna get paid. So homegirl go get her a drink or whatever. She go home, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, go to the gym, still doing it normal. Like, playing it cool. Y'all, this story, like, you could tell, like, this story got, like, interesting because why is my eyes turning red? So, homegirl's at the gym. While she sees something come across the news or whatever, a body has been found by the dumpster where she met Dana, like, nearby or whatever, where they was, like, leaking up, trying to figure out what they gonna do or whatever. So, her intuition's telling her, like, this has something to do with the, husband and her baby daddy. And it's telling her, like, Dana's gone. Like, she's unalive. So she rushed to the locker room expeditiously and, like, put on her clothes. What she blowing Dana's phone up. Dana not answering. She texting her, like, nobody's not answering the phone. So homegirl know, like, it had something to do with her baby daddy and Daniel's husband or whatever. So she rushed home. She finna clear the stash of her baby daddy in the house with her. She finna pack up and hit it. As homegirl walking out the door after she done packed all her stuff, getting ready to hit it, a detective was outside her door and asked her, like, are you Carissa Davis? And then not only that, she have a warrant out for her arrest. She have a warrant out for her arrest for the questioning of Dana or whatever, y'all. So homegirl got her kids' clothes with her. She finna get ready to hit it. Before she got stopped by the detective, she got $40,000 in cash because she cleaned out the safe or whatever. So they asking her questions or whatever. She telling them everything that she knows or whatever. Like, the math is not math. And at this point, they don't believe her. So the detective walk in or whatever. He shows her pictures of Daniel and the gun. He was like, have you seen this gun? She's like, no, whatever. So she went to remember, like, oh, snap, this gun I bought that 6 months ago. Her fingerprints was on the gun. So at first she didn't remember the gun or whatever, but the detective tell her, like, your fingerprints is on this, and it was at the murder scene of Dana or whatever, y'all. So mind you, this the gun that homegirl, baby daddy, sent her to go buy or whatever. So she purchased the gun 6 months ago. Mind you, her and Daniel's husband been messing around for 6 months. So they didn't end up charging her right then and there for the murder or whatever. They held her for 24 hours, then they let her go. So the only thing in the back of her head, like, she done took this man $40,000 and, like, she's gone from the house. So she know he's at home going loco. Her mama come pick her up from wherever they had her held at, y'all. So she telling Mama Dukes, like, look, we can't go back to your house or my house either. Like, she on the run or whatever. Like, her boyfriend's probably trying to kill her or whatever. So they jump on the road. They drove 3 days to California where her sister lived or whatever, y'all. Okay, so fast forward. They in California. Her sister know the plug or whatever. They changed her identity. She shaved off all hair or whatever. So her sister introduces her to a guy that owns a club or whatever. It's like a very popular club, I guess, in California, where all the big ballers be coming in. Her sister is a retired dancer or whatever. She used to work at the club or whatever, y'all. Keep in mind. The homegirl, like, shit, I'm finna dance now. Like, she need a way to make money. Mind you, she still got the $40,000, but money got to keep coming in. So she met a guy at the club or whatever named Chimp or whatever, not knowing this is Dana's husband, y'all. So he found her. He's a private investigator. So he became one of her, like, customers, like, clients at the club, like, tipping her, coming, like, whole time, like, he's tracing her. Y'all, so Chimp ended up getting with other dancers or whatever. They ended up going to a hotel or whatever. He was on coke or whatever. He ended up overdosing or whatever. So they go in his wallet or whatever. They see that he's an officer. So she like, wait. Like, she went to put in everything together. She was like, wait, she getting followed. So she go pick up her kids or whatever. As she going to pick up her kids, she get there. The kids are gone. Why the husband, her baby daddy, don't pick up the motherfucking kids. So now she rushed back to her sister in the house like, look, he got my kids or whatever. So sister girl go buy her a little pew or whatever. And now she heading back to St. Lucie or whatever, going back to the old house or whatever. They keep a little key under the mat or whatever. So she was going back there. She walk in the house. Why? Baby daddy done moved the new bitch in. I'm waiting on part 13, 14, 15 to drop. Y'all, I'm gonna call y'all back. But it's a video, a 10-minute. I never made a 10-minute video, y'all. This story's so interesting. Y'all need to go watch it. I don't know if it's a Tubi movie or what, but it's interesting.
Story time on how my mum tried to get me arrested for eating a roast dinner. Eating a roast dinner. Before anyone tries to say that I'm making this up, I have pictures of the police around my house for this very incident. I cannot make this shit up. It's fucking hilarious. So it's my weekend to go to my dad's. I go to my dad's, he calls me down for tea. It's a roast dinner. I don't like roast dinners. Okay, I know it's like a British thing to like them, but I just don't. I'm a really picky eater. But I decide to eat it because him and my stepmom have just had a baby and I don't want to cause him any stress. So I eat the roast dinner. He takes me back to my mum's and I walk through the door. My mum's like, hi, have you eaten? Do I need to cook for you? I'm like, no, I've eaten a roast dinner. Tell me why this woman looks at me like I've just committed murder. She just stood there like... I'm walking off to my room and I can hear her going, are you fucking joking? Are you fucking joking me? And I'm like, what? She was like, you ate a roast dinner? And I was like, yeah. She starts trying to make a big argument out of it and me and my older sister are just laughing at this point. Why are you beefing me over a roast dinner? And she's saying to me, you can never eat it for me, but you'll eat it for them. And I was like, well, they've just had a baby. Like, I don't want to cause them any stress. She was like, oh, so you don't care about your siblings here? You don't care about me? And I was like, I do care about you and I do care about my siblings. I literally just ate a roast dinner. Woman, what do you want from me? For me to bring it back up? What do you want? Because I'm not taking this seriously, she decides to go and call the police and tell them that I'm being violent and I need to be removed because I'm putting her other children at risk and they need to come and arrest me. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Me and my sister are still fucking pissing our pants at this point. No way has she got the police involved over me eating a roast dinner. I promise I can't make this up. So because I'm still laughing, because it's hilarious, she finds the worst trigger for me and she knows that that trigger is taking my phone off me. Because she used to smash it up, I was kicked out of school all the time and I had no contact with anyone and I just felt trapped in a toxic household that's abusive. So taking my phone off me was an extreme trigger to my anger and she knew that. She knows that very well, but her tactic was when she calls the police, she tries to get her kids as angry as possible because she knows that her kids can't calm down very quickly. So by the time the police get here, she looks like she's telling the truth. And let me tell you, it nearly fucking worked. So the police get her and I'm obviously losing my shit. I've already put my foot through a door, which yes was a mistake, but again I was a child and it's a council estate door. I paid her back for it and she never bought the door, so clearly it wasn't that important. Anyway, the police officers have seen that I've trashed my room because I'm actually going crazy. How is this happening over me eating a roast dinner? Get a fucking grip. And even the police are trying not to laugh. They're smirking on their face. It's fucking funny. Me and my sister actually ended up having a joke with the police officer because one of them knew my mum and they knew that my mum was a severe alcoholic who liked to call the police to try and get her kids in trouble when really it's her that's the problem. So this one just took the cake for them. They were pissing themselves. It was actually really funny. But I could hear her telling the other officer that I'm being extremely violent and they need to arrest me. That sent me over the edge. I tried to go up to her and be like, what's going on? Why the fuck are you doing this? All I did was eat a roast dinner. And this police officer's pushing me. They're going, no, you can't do that. So my sister asked, well, can I go and talk to her because I'm not the problem? They were like, no, we must talk to your mum on your own. You'll get your chance. So we finally got our chance and they decided they weren't going to arrest me, but they were going to take me out of my house. They were going to go and send me and my sister to sleep at our nan's house, which, yeah, it's shitty that I've got to leave my own home because of it. But then again, that is my abusive household, so... When we got to my nan's, we spoke to the police by ourselves, and I actually have a picture of them looking at each other and laughing because they actually heard the full story. It was so funny. They decided to put it on record, do whatever they needed with it in case something else came up, which it did, but that's a story for another day, right? Anyway, that is the story on how I nearly got arrested for eating a roast dinner. My own mum tried to get me arrested for eating a roast dinner. Can't make this shit up. If you need the proof, I'll put it in the comments. I love you. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Okay, everybody's gonna hate me for telling this story, but it must be told because I've made amends with everybody in this story already. Like, we're all fine. So I'm not talking bad about anyone. I'm just telling exactly how it went because this is what happened. Okay, basically I dated this boy and it was like, we started dating. It was so random. Whatever, we were friends, but we started dating. It was in the summer and we were kind of like a big friend group. Like me, my boyfriend, his best friend, and my best friend. And my best friend was a gay boy, okay? And, like, we were, like, soulmates. Like, think of your best friend and you think you're platonic soulmates. That was me and this homosexual. We're friends, and basically, he's like, let's all go to Boise. Like, let's all go hang out, and we're gonna get an Airbnb and have fun. We have to go to the Airbnb. So we get there, and we're just hanging out, and, you know, we're just drinking some juice. There's a hot tub at this Airbnb. That's a crucial part of the story. This is where I start to, like, lose my memory because crazy juice. But, basically, I just remember I had to get out of the hot tub, and I was throwing up. My friend was trying to help me, and then, oh, my dad's gonna watch this. So I change, I shower, like, they help me, whatever. I lose my memory at this point. Like, this is, like, fuzzy, okay? I just remember kind of, like, crashing out. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of crashed out. I was kind of crying, and I was kind of being embarrassing, and I was, like, reflecting on the past because I have some trauma that is, like, unresolved. They were like, Daddy, stop, like, chill, you know? And they were like, let's go for a ride, okay? It was probably 10 times worse than I'm explaining it, but this is how I remember, okay? So I just remember we get in the car. My boyfriend wasn't drinking, so no juice, so he is driving, and I just remember, like, being in the car crying still, and they were like, what do we do with her, like, I don't know what to do, like, I can't handle this, and I'm just like in the back being embarrassing, okay? This is, like, okay, I'm not proud of, like, how I was acting, but, like, I am the victim in the situation. So anyways, I just remember us getting back to the Airbnb, and then my friend was like, go put her in bed. And he was like, I am. So then, I don't even know what time it is. I don't know anything. I don't know. He puts me to bed. He falls asleep with me. But when I wake up, the next day, he's not there. But I'm just like, oh, it's probably late. So I get up and I go into the kitchen. And everyone's sitting there and they're like, do you remember last night, girl? Like, how was it? Like, they were being nice to me. Not, like, mad that, like, I was acting stupid. And I was just like, dude, I don't even remember, you know? And everyone was acting normal. We go back home, okay? A month goes by, a month and a half goes by, okay? We want to go to another Airbnb, but we want to go to Salt Lake instead. And he's like, my boyfriend's like, I'm bringing my best friend, so you bring your best friend, or, like, bring a girl or something. And I was like, well, you know, my only best friend is that guy, you know, my little gay bestie. And he's like, okay, you can ask him, just kind of being weird. And I was like, okay. So I text him and he's like, no, girl, I'm sorry, like, last time was a mess, I don't want to go, sorry. And I was just like, okay, whatever, like, I'm not gonna be like, you're so lame, so whatever. And he had gone on vacation. My best friend, he went to Kentucky to go see his dad, and when he came back, he was kind of just, like, distant from me. And he went right after the Boise trip, so he was kind of distant from me, and he was hanging out with another girl. But, like, I'm never, like, a jealous friend, like we're dating. Like, I was just like, oh, he just wants to hang out with her more, that's cool. And he was, like, distant from me, but I was just like, I don't know, maybe he's just getting closer with this girl. I didn't really care. And so he said no to the Salt Lake trip. I was like, cool. We go to Salt Lake, and while we're there, okay, this is, like, another story within a story. While we're there, we're chilling in the hot tub. There's another hot tub in this one. I have such a bad look. And we're drinking juice. I wasn't even that bad at this point, but my boyfriend was. He was passed out. And his phone's ringing, and his best friend's like, oh, his phone's ringing here. And I'm like, what the, like, I don't recognize this number. Dude, I pick it up, and it's some girl. And she's like, oh my god, your boyfriend is cheating on you, and he has a fake Snapchat, and this and that, and this and that. And I'm like, girl, no, he doesn't. Like, you're so dumb, like, you know, being delusional. And she's like, go check right now. Like, she wasn't being a girl's girl about it. She was being, like, a fat hoe about it. I'm sorry. Anyways, I check. He has a fake Snapchat. He's cheating on me. All this, okay? I'm crashing out. And I'm like, I wake him up, and I'm like, bro, what the, like, what is this? You know, you're cheating on me. And he's like, yeah, I am. Like, you know. And I'm like, you're so dumb. Like, you're so bad at hiding it. And then my boyfriend just, like, locks himself in one of the Airbnb rooms, and he's like, sleep with my friend. Go sleep in that room with my friend. Because there's only 2 rooms. And I was like, yeah, I will. So I go with his friend. Well, yeah, with his friend. And he's like, at least you guys are over now, because, like, there's something way worse that happened. And, like, and I'm like, what happened? Like, you can't just say that. You can't just say something worse happened. And he's like, no, bro, no. He's like, I cannot tell you, Tati. Like, it is not my place to tell you. And I was like, bro, you cannot be fake right now. Like, you cannot, like, I know you're his friend, but you cannot just say that. Like, say something worse happened and then not tell me. And he's like, your boyfriend told me that when you were sleeping at the Boise Airbnb, him and your best friend were in the hot tub together being freaks, right? So I'm like, and I didn't even doubt him. Like, I in my heart, I felt it was true. I start crying, and then his best friend starts crying, and he's like, I'm so sorry, like, I should have told you, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you knew this whole time. Like, I was mad, you know? And he was like, I knew, he told me, and I thought he was kidding, but he said he swore on his life it happened, and he would never do it again, that it was so gay. And I was like, bruh. So I text my best friend, and I'm like, you're so fake, like, we have been best friends for years, like, I hate you. He's like, Tati, I would never do that to you, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, we get back from Salt Lake, me and my boyfriend are breaking up, whatever, we're, like, deciding what to do. And then my best friend comes over. My best friend told me his side of the story first. He said that when I fell asleep, my boyfriend texted him saying, is Tati asleep? He said, come to the living room. And my best friend said, no. Okay. I asked my boyfriend. He says, oh, yeah, I texted him coming to the hot tub. He said no. Already their stories don't line up. So I'm like, bruh. I'm like, yeah, y'all stories don't line up. Like, this is stupid. And my best friend is leaving my house. And he's like, Tati, I really hope you believe me. Like, I would never do this to you. And I was like, your stories don't line up. And he was like, yeah, that's weird, but I would never. A week later, he comes to my house. He admits everything. I recorded it on my iPad. And he was like, he paid me $200 not to tell you anything, Tati. Like, my best friend told me. And I was like, honestly, I think we just need to fight. So we ran a fade, and then we just got tired, and then he left, and then, yeah. But now we're all cordial, because I really hated that man, and, like, he really, like, saved me. And he's gay. And nobody believes me. Well, some people do, but yeah, that's how I found out. It was actually insane. So be careful, because your man could be DL, and your gay best friend could be the sapphire to your Suki. Like, you'll never know. So that's what happened.
6 years old now. My father died at 7.5. I don't want to live in a hole anymore.
One of the craziest things that's ever fucking happened to anybody just happened to me, and I honestly, I'm really questioning my reality. So I just got on a flight, okay? I sit down. The couple in front of me, they have like a 6-week-old baby, okay? And they immediately start fighting on the flight, straight up. Like, she just steps on his neck right away, where she's like, something is wrong with your fucking brain. Like, something with the way that it works is fucking wrong with your brain. And he's like, oh my God, why are you doing this right now? And she's like, no, because, like, something is seriously fucking wrong with you. And I'm like, damn, girl, like, what's going on? And she is not being quiet. She's just going for it. And, like, while this is happening, they're like, fasten your seatbelts. Like, they're doing the in-flight announcements, and so they'll, like, pause, and then they'll go right back to beefing. And he's like, oh my God, like, I'm not the one who's freaking out. You're the one who's freaking out. And that's why that guy had to grab you. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just sitting there being like being nosy, like, and everybody else on the flight's ignoring it. Okay, so, and they're like being loud, where they're talking at a volume of like, and honestly, and I'm like, so they're going back and forth, and she's like, no, because, like, why is there a bitch in your phone? I'm like, oh shit, like, drag him by his hair down the aisle, girl, no one will say anything, what's happening? And she's like, cause why is she messaging me that you were creeping on Snapchat? And he's like, oh my God, all I did was add her, we weren't even talking. And then she was like, why did you add her? And he's like, because she added me. And she's like, because she just told me that she was talking to you and that you were creeping. And he's like, did she send you screenshots? And she's like, no, because it's from Snapchat. And he's like, exactly, so nothing happened. I don't know why she's saying that. I just added her. The baby's quiet as hell. What's this happening? I'm like, damn, they fight like this all the time. This baby doesn't give a fuck. That's crazy. Is it just because it's like 6 weeks old? Because I don't know. I don't have a baby. I'm like, what's up? Like, I thought babies cry, fucking everything. This is crazy. And so they're just going back and forth. Again, pausing every time that they're like, don't forget the flotation devices are under your seat. And they're like, anyway, fuck you. It's crazy. So then he's like, oh yeah, nothing's ever in your phone because it doesn't have to be. And she's like, oh my God, what does that mean? And he's like, why are you still hanging out with your ex? Why is he hanging around? I'm like, ooh. And then she immediately gets defensive. So I'm like, oh, like, did he just like touch a nerve? Like, what's going on? And so she's like, oh my God, he's not even around that much. And he's like, you just went on a picnic with him one-on-one. And she's like, oh my God, that was to celebrate our pregnancy. And he's like, yeah, but I'm the dad. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what is going on? And then she's like, it's not like anything happened, bro. Like, I was huge at that time. He's like, oh yeah, because that stopped Stefan Diggs. Pop culture reference. What is happening? And I'm just sitting back there like, I'm texting like my friends and like Kylan about this, being like, bro, like live updates and shit. So then they're going back and forth. And she's like, he's not even around that much. Like, why are you even worried about him? And he's like, oh, really? And he just immediately lists off like 5 times the guy's been around recently. And I'm like, damn, it is not looking good for our girl. And then she looks at him, and she's holding the baby now. He was holding it at the beginning. They passed it off. She looks at him. She goes, why are you even getting mad on a flight, bro? Like, why are you even fighting on a flight, bro? And he's like, honestly, I don't know. And I'm like, did I just watch her gaslight successfully just now? Like, this is great. Like, she started it. And so I'm just like, oh my God, like, what's going on? And so then she's like, don't try that shit with me again. Like, I'm not a dummy. And then he's like, okay. And then they start like hysterically laughing. And I'm like, what is the tone of this moment? Like, what the fuck is going on? So then the flight takes off. Okay. They start rehashing it again, and it's like quieter, so I can only hear bits and pieces, but it's mainly about like they're just re-looping, and she's bringing up Snapchat, he's bringing up the ex, it's going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. At some point, like 30 minutes before she land, she's like, oh, the baby. And then they both start fussing over the baby. So I'm like, oh, I guess the baby woke up. But this baby's well behaved as fuck. Like, this baby hasn't made any goddamn noise this whole flight. I'm like, this baby is so calm that I'm nervous about it, honestly. Like, I don't know what's up with this baby. Like, I'm glad it's not dead. I was starting to get worried, but like, what the fuck? So then we get off the flight, or the flight lands, so we're getting ready to get off, and I know that he's like effectively losing this fight because he starts narrating everything he's doing out loud, and she's just like straight up ignoring him, holding his baby like this. It's like swaddled. She's like giving him the cold shoulder, and he's like, gotta put on my jacket, gotta zip up my bag. And then anytime he meets any sort of resistance, like he can't get his arm in the jacket all the way, or like he can't zip up his bag, he's like, bruh. And I'm like, damn, this guy's annoying as fuck. Anyway, so like, I see where she's mad. So then they like stand up, they go to get off the fucking plane, and I'm walking behind them. I've been behind them this whole time. So all I can really see is the back of each of their head, and then like the top of the baby's head. It's got some hair. It's got a little bit of a cone head. It's like a new baby for sure. It's got like a small head still. So like, we get out, and this shit, I cannot prepare you for this shit. I cannot prepare you for what happened next. I'm honestly still reeling about it. I'm questioning my reality. I really am. We get off the flight. I see the front of them for the first time, and he's like, hand her to me. She hands the swaddled baby over, and then he grabs the baby by its head. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you should be worried about a soft spot. What the fuck? And then he picks up a coconut, and he holds it in the sky, and he goes, coconut. And then he re-swaddles it, and they start holding it again like a baby. And then they walk to baggage claim, and they keep holding it like a baby, talking about the baby this, the baby that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that was a coconut the whole time? That's why the baby was so quiet, because it's a coconut? That's why I thought maybe the baby was dead or something, because it was never truly alive, because it's a coconut? How did you even get a coconut on the flight? Why are you leaving Philly with a coconut to go to the Midwest? Like, I know they sell coconuts everywhere, but like, why? It's not like it's like a souvenir of like, oh, Philadelphia coconuts, unless I'm mistaken. But like, what the fuck? And they're talking about the baby the whole time, so I would think like, oh, maybe they were referencing a baby that they had back at home, but like, they swaddled it and they were rocking it and shit, and they kept referring to it as the baby. But then also, I was like, maybe they're on crack, and then I was like, but then why did he break, like, why did his disbelief get suspended? Like, why was he aware at one point that it was a coconut to the point where he could go, coconut, without them both freaking the fuck out over the fact that the baby's a coconut now? Like, what? And my dad picked me up. I'm telling all of this to him, and he's like, maybe it was some like couples therapy thing of like, oh, like pretend that you have a baby, you know, like to imagine greater responsibilities outside oneself or something, or like maybe she's early pregnancy and they're trying to prepare, and like their couples therapist recommended this. And I was like, sure, but then why didn't they give them a baby doll? Why is it a coconut? And again, how did they get the coconut on the plane? Like, can you just bring coconuts on the plane? Like, it's a plot twist it's a true plot twist. Because who the fuck would have thought that was a coconut? Like, hours of my life, I believed a coconut was a baby. Huh? And I have so many questions that are never going to be answered about this. I'm reeling. I'm actually fucking reeling. Oh my God. I can't breathe.
Did anyone else see that story of that lady on TikTok? Wait, let me explain. So this lady said that she's been married for 8 years and that her husband is deployed overseas all the way in Germany. She says that she barely sees her husband. He comes home like 2 or 3 times a year, and when he's home, he only stays for about 2 or 3 weeks. So for the last 2 years, she says she's been feeling real lonely, and she decided to go out and cheat on her husband. She said that she went and she had a one-night stand, and this one-night stand was so good that it turned into an every-night stand. And she recently found out she's pregnant. And clearly this is not her husband's, because her husband's overseas, so the man that she's been sleeping with got her pregnant. So now, her and this dude have been messing with each other for 2 years, back and forth. Mind you, she has 3 kids with her husband. She said at first they were getting hotels and stuff, to keep her anonymous. But then, after 2 years, she got a little comfortable, and now she's allowed to go to his house. He's still not allowed to come to hers because, she got kids, and he don't got no kids. Usually she goes over there and, she's not really paying attention to what's in her house because she has no real feelings for this man. She just, got lonely. But one day, as she's walking in, she decides to pay a little bit close attention to the pictures on his wall. And as she's looking over the pictures on her wall, guess who she sees? Her husband. So now she's freaking out because she's like, how is a picture of my husband and him in this frame on the wall? Of course, she starts panicking. She has to get to the bottom of this, but she doesn't know how to bring it up without saying, like, how do you know this man? Because this is my husband. So after a while, she decides, like, I'm just going to ask around, like, oh, who's this? Oh, that's my grandma. Oh, who that? That's my uncle. So who is this? Y'all would never believe what the man said. The man going to say, oh, that's my brother. She was thinking, like, there's no way, because she's been married to him for 8 years and he's never been in none of the family functions. Like, she never even heard of her husband speak of him. So she asked, oh, is this from your dad's side? He said, yeah, it's from my dad's side. So that makes sense because, the dad got a whole bunch of other kids. So it makes sense to why, she never really seen him. But y'all, the man she's been sleeping with 2 years is her husband's brother. But the story doesn't stop there. So he's like, yeah, that's my brother. I'm real close with him. She's all confused. Like, He starts pulling out pictures. He pulls out a picture. He said, yeah. So she's like, oh, so is he married? He was like, yeah, he is. To his wife in Germany. Yeah, they got 2 kids over there. He has a nice little family in Germany. Y'all, why the man start pulling up pictures of her husband with his wife, his new wife in Germany, and their kids? Mind you, she's pregnant by this man, who she just found out is her husband's brother. She also just found out that her husband got a whole family in Germany. So now she don't know what to do because she's been cheating on her husband clearly has been cheating on her, and now there's a baby about to be involved. Hey, that was just a story I seen, but what would y'all do?
Not to be dramatic, but if I dropped dead tomorrow and woke up in hell, it would probably take me 2 to 3 full days to realize that I was not just in another HR-backed team building workshop with my coworkers.
My phone rang last night at 1 o'clock in the morning twice by a number that is not exactly local to us, but about an hour away. My immediate thought, was that something happened to one of my children because I'm the emergency contact, and this was like DPS calling to tell me that one of my children got in a wreck and was hurt. But what it actually was is kind of insane. So immediately after my phone rings at 1 o'clock in the morning twice, I am like kind of delirious. I was still awake. I was trying to fall asleep, but I was still awake. And so I immediately go to Life 360 and I go check all of the locations of all of my kids to make sure that everybody's home and everybody's safe. And even my daughter that's at college is good. And they were. So then I get out of my bed, I walk over to my back door because I have like a glass back door, and I have a guest house. And in my guest house is Alyssa. Alyssa is not my biological daughter, but she's mine. She's my kid. She's a former foster youth. She was raised at the ranch that I used to work at, and she rents from us and lives in our backyard. And as I look outside, I see a flashlight. And it's like kind of going in and out. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Who is that? Who is at my house? So I try to call the number back and it goes to voicemail, but it's a man's voice. Now I'm really freaking out because it kind of sounded professional. So immediately I call Alyssa and she sounds like she's asleep. And I'm like, hey, what the heck is going on? And she says, I'm just out here cleaning out my car. And I'm like a freaking crackhead at 1 o'clock in the morning? Why are you cleaning out your car? She said, because I have to go on a 5-hour road trip tomorrow morning to Denton, and I need to make sure my car is clean before I leave. And I just got off work, which is true. She works until like almost midnight every night. So that made sense. But then I'm like, so who the hell was calling me? And all of a sudden, the number calls back again. And I answer. And there's a man on the other side of the phone. And he says, hey, Christina, this is Andrew. And I'm like, who the hell is Andrew? And then I remember Christmas Eve of this past year, I was waiting on my son to fly back in after being in South Carolina with his family for a couple of weeks. And while I was waiting for him, I went and got something to eat at In-N-Out Burger. And I was sitting in the truck after I ate my food, and I was on the phone with my dad just trying to kill time. And there was a man that pulled up in a truck kind of next to me that was towing like a small boat. So anyways, this man, Andrew, approaches my vehicle and he then says, wait, never mind. Sorry, didn't mean to bother you. And I'm like, no, what's going on? How can I help? He proceeds to tell me he had just moved down here. This was all of his belongings. He just got a divorce and he didn't have any money for food, any money for food, if I can talk. And he was embarrassed, didn't want to ask me or whatever. And I was like, no, dude, it's Christmas Eve. Like I would help normally anyways, but it's Christmas Eve. Let's go get you something to eat. So I go inside with this guy. I ask him what he wants, order his food, pay for it, let him get some food for later as well. And I'm just making small talk with him. And he's like, what's your name? I said, Christina Ritchie. And he goes, oh, cool. So nice to meet you. My name's Andrew. I'm from like Arkansas or somewhere. I don't remember, but I just moved here. I'm trying to sell this boat out here because it's one of the last things I have. It's, not worth a lot, but I don't really do Facebook. So I'm just wondering, maybe you can help me. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, sure, fine. I can post something on Marketplace. No big deal. That was that. Okay. I said, have a Merry Christmas. I left. And about a month and a half later, I get a phone call from this guy. My number is posted online, so it wasn't really hard to find my phone number. And he's like, hey, Christina, it's Andrew. And I'm like, hi, who's Andrew? So he tells me the guy that you bought the food for at In-N-Out. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? How can I help? So he says, hey, I kind of have a situation. I moved in with this like pastor or something and his wife. I'm renting from them. I'm basically being a ranch hand and we're kind of in an altercation. I just need support right now. I don't really have anybody. I looked you up. I'm sorry if that's weird. I was just wondering maybe you could like be on speakerphone with me and be a mediator between me and these people because we're having some tension and I have bad anxiety. I just really need your help. So I'm like, sure. Okay. So I witness this conversation between him and the pastor people. I hang up in the middle of it because it just got kind of weird and I was like, okay, this is strange, and I just hung up. So about a month and a half after that, this would have been about February of this year, I get another random phone call from Mr. Andrew. But this time it got really strange. So Mr. Andrew calls me a couple months ago and he basically tells me, asks me, hey, are you alone? And I'm like, yeah, like I was in my bedroom. My husband was out in the dining room. So he was just like on the other side of the wall, but I was in my bedroom. I was alone. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And so he says, I just can't stop thinking about you. I need to know how much to be with you for one night. What? Homeboy couldn't buy food, but homeboy's trying to buy something else that costs a lot more than food. And I ain't selling nothing. So sorry, buddy, you're out of luck. Then he goes off on this like the whole thing about how I know you're married. I know you have kids. I know you have a whole life. I know this is inappropriate, but I just can't stop thinking about you. I immediately go get my husband because he has got to hear this at this point. Go get my husband, drag him in the room. I've got him on mute at this point. I put it on speakerphone and I ask him to repeat himself. He repeats himself. And my husband basically tells him, don't ever contact us again. And that 1 o'clock in the morning phone call last night was Mr. Andrew. And when I answered the phone, he says, hey, Christina, it's Andrew. I said, Andrew who? And he said, from In-N-Out. And I'm like, okay, how can I help you? And he says, I know this is inappropriate and I'm really sorry. And I know that you're married, but I can't stop thinking about you. And I think you're really cute and I want to talk to you. Bro didn't catch a hint the last time. I don't get it. So I very clearly, because I don't like being mean to people, so I try really hard to still be really nice to people. So I tried in my nicest way possible to basically say to him, Andrew, listen, first of all, are you drunk? Like, are you under the influence of something right now? Like, what is going on with you? He goes, why does that matter? And I'm like, I just can't understand for the life of me why you're calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning with some stuff like this after my husband specifically told you to leave me alone and never contact me again. So then he says, I know, and I know it's inappropriate, and I'm really sorry, and blah, blah, blah. And I say, Andrew, listen to me right now. I am married. I am happily married. I have a literal F ton of kids. Like, I need you to leave me alone. Like, this is way crossing a boundary. In fact, how are you calling me? Because I blocked your number the last time. And he says, I know you did, so I got a new number. Wild. So anyways, so I basically tell him yet again, listen, this is completely inappropriate. I am not interested. Leave me alone. Please do not ever contact me again. And he basically says, okay. I hang up, I go to bed. I wake up this morning and I tell my husband about it. And my husband's like, oh, hell no. So my husband picks up the phone. He says, which number did he call from? I said, I saved it because I knew you were going to react that way. And my husband's not like a very jealous person, but like he already told this guy to leave me alone. Now he's calling me twice at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like he was pissed. So he didn't leave alone this time. He picked up the phone. He called the guy. The guy answered and he very sternly told him yet again to leave me alone. Oh, and I forgot one other thing that I told this guy whenever he called me and I was like, listen, I know you've never seen my husband. I know you don't know my husband, but my husband is a very strong man who boxes 6 days a week. And he is not somebody that I would be trying to piss off by hitting on his wife and calling her at 1 o'clock in the morning. And he asked me if that was a threat. And I said, no, it doesn't have to be. I'm just telling you, my husband will protect his own, and you are crossing some serious boundaries, and you've already been asked to leave me alone, and you're not. So just letting you know that it's probably in your best interest to leave me alone for real. Absolutely wild. Just crazy to me that this guy's calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning over some crazy stuff like this. Anything like that ever happened to y'all, or am I just the only one that gets crazies calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning after just buying them food?
I'm sorry, but why the are we taking taxes out of the paychecks of 15 to 17-year-olds when they are not allowed to vote? Is that not the definition of taxation without representation?
Let me give you a story time on how I found out that the father of my child was cheating on me with his mother, and his mother ended up being pregnant. Yes, bitch. So this was about 5 years ago, and everything was going smooth, cool, calm, collect, whatever. One day I just was getting weird fucking vibes out of no fucking where from his mother. Like, is you cool, ho? So she walked up to me and she said, do you really love my son like you say you do? And I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? Remind you, I've been dating him for fucking years. So I'm like, what? Huh? In the back of my head, I'm like, he's opposed to me. Like, is this motherfucker finna propose? Because that's what I'm thinking about. Like, I ain't thinking about shit else. So I was like, yes. So after that, she didn't say shit. Like, days and days, months and months go by. Every time we came over to the family house to go see her, she just took her nose up at me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I tell the father of my child, and he was like, oh, it's nothing. She always act like that. Remind you, I've been in a relationship this fucking long and I ain't never seen this type of reaction from her. What you mean she always act like this, bitch? No, the fuck she don't. Okay, so fast forward to she was asking me, she was like, where's my grandson? I was like, he's with my mother. Y'all, she stormed out, went in her car, and left. I'm looking like, what the fuck is the fucking problem? Like, remind you, a lot of shit been building up this whole entire time. But, I'm respectful. I ain't got time for all the rah-rah. I do not try to, disrespect my elders. That's not me. So, of course, the father of my child went and followed her. And I'm like, so I got his location. I got that location. Why the fuck do I see both of them are at a hotel? The only reason I know that both of them are in a hotel because I FaceTime him. And I said, are y'all okay? What is going on? What's the problem? So he was like, oh, no, we good. I just had to calm her down. We at a hotel, etc., etc. He flipped the camera. He showed it to me. And I'm like, calm her down for what? What the fuck is going on? So she tried to make this big excuse like, oh, I wanted to see my grandson, but he's over there with your mother. Like, this just not her motherfucking grandchild, too. Like, are you cool? Reminded you, I'm a mother at the end of the day. I needed a motherfucking break. And I got my motherfucking break. So, okay, boom. They end up coming back. It took them 3 hours to come the fuck back. I was blowing this man's phone like, where are y'all? I'm thinking like the worst of the worst done happened. Like somebody got in the rape. Like that's what I'm thinking. Cause like everybody just went MIA. Okay, remind you, it's nighttime now. They end up pulling up. So I'm nervous. I'm like shaking like, what the fuck is going on? Like, are y'all okay? He was like, chill. Yeah, we okay. I was like, okay, cool. So he was like, let's go home. I was like, okay, cool. Got in the car. Why in the fuck do I smell like a sex odor? A sex odor. Y'all know what the fuck that smell is. Nothing but pussy. So I was like, who been in this fucking car? I got the fuck up so motherfucking fast. I said, who been in this motherfucking car? He was like, nobody. The only person who been in this car was my mom. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? So I'm like, why the fuck do it smell like that in here then? He was like, oh, I don't smell shit. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, you always doing this shit, da-da-da-da-da-da, trying to make an argument. Narcissist, narcissist, narcissist. So I'm like, bitch, don't play with me like I'm dumb as fuck. Bitch, I smell pussy. Then I asked him, I said, so where the fuck is her car if she was in the car? Like, I'm thinking like, this a lie now. Because what the fuck is going on? What you lying? Why you lying for? So he ended up telling me her husband went and picked up the car and I dropped her off. I said, dropped her off where? This bitch gonna say, I dropped her off to my grandmama's house. Her mom. I said, okay. I'm quiet. Sitting in the car, we riding. We got like a good 30-minute drive to go home. So while we driving, the new model cars, it beeps when you got your seatbelt on. So the motherfucker kept beeping and it would not stop. And it was because of me, I had my seatbelt on. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna put this bitch on. That's what I'm saying in my head. So I'm looking down and I see a fucking condom, y'all. A motherfucking condom. You know what? Just watch the next motherfucking video. Cause I'm heated on this one. I need to cool the fuck off. Part 2 in the next fucking video.
You're quiet. Yeah. I'm trying to gauge how awkward and myself I can be in this new social situation. So I will be quiet until then. And then once I figure it out, you'll probably wish that I would go back to being quiet.
I have a great nightmare roommate story. Wasn't fun at the time, but it's a great story now, so get your popcorn. So I was 19 and I was basically couch surfing, so I had to find an actual place to live. I had a few mutual friends with this girl we'll call Sadie. Got down the grapevine to me that Sadie was renting out a big house and she wanted to fill it with roommates. I was under the impression that she did want it to be kind of like a party house, but it sounded like everyone would be like responsible and mature at the same time. So to me, I was like, that's like perfect. So like, that's what I wanted. Didn't end up being that way, but so I meet her to like give her my first month's rent or something, and she invites me to go make copies of the key at Walmart. So I'm like, okay, this is a cool way to like get to know her, you know? But this ends up being like my first red flag before I even moved in. So we go to Walmart, and it was back when they had like an actual like counter with a guy working there to do the keys instead of the kiosk they have now. So we go and she picks out a few different keys because we need several. So she picks out a bunch of different cute ones. But the guy at the counter tells us that one of the designs that she picked out is for a different size key, so we have to choose a different one, right? Simple. But at this point, she's starting to become like very out of it. Like clearly on something, like just like, what? And me and this old man behind the counter are trying to explain it to her, and she's like in a loop. We explain it and then she's like, but I want this key. And we're like, you can't have that key. Like, choose another one. And the old man is getting like really frustrated with her, and I'm like really embarrassed. It finally gets to the point where I just like pick out another key and kind of like usher her out of there. So fast forward, I move in. Sometimes she would be normal and we would talk about like astrology and stuff, and I'd be like, okay, she's cool. But like, I'm also really introverted and like awkward, so I really only saw her when our mutual friends were over and we would all like party together. But during the week, I'd be going to work and I would just be like keeping to myself. That later becomes a problem, but we'll get there. So she starts doing really weird things to this house. Remember, this is a rental and it's a beautiful house owned by this nice old immigrant couple. She was told that she couldn't have pets. The whole upstairs was carpeted, but she had like 2 small dogs, I think, and they would poop and pee all over the carpet and it would literally just sit there for days. So right away, I felt really bad about the house, like, and the landlord and everything, but at the same time, like, I wasn't on the lease, so I was just like, I guess it's none of my business, and like, as long as no one messes with my room, whatever. So one day I come home, I walk through the front door, and she and her boyfriend had taken all of the cabinet doors off in the kitchen. Like, you know, the cabinets where you keep all your dishes and everything, they had taken all of the doors off, so you could just see everything inside. And she was like, yeah, this is like really good for the feng shui and like the energy flows better, but it actually just looked cluttered and horrible. But I was like, whatever. But then it starts to get so much worse. Well, first, okay, so at one point she's talking to me and she's like, hey, so I don't know if this bothers you or not, but I smoke. And I'm like, oh, well, that's fine. And she's like, yeah. So I smoke cigarettes and I smoke and this is where I'm like, oh, it's starting to click. So her thing was like, whenever she would be like hopped up on that stuff, she would go shopping and she would go to Ross and she would buy tons of decorations, mainly things that you hang on the wall, things that didn't match, and she would just put them all over the house. Like, this is a house with like high ceilings, like it would look beautiful with like some nice paintings or something, and she's just putting like cheap Ross decorations all over the walls. It seemed like every day there would just be like 10 new things on the walls that just like didn't match. But oh, it gets so much worse. She starts painting the walls, okay? Well, no, not the walls. Not even the walls. Okay, so first she painted like a door that's downstairs, and she painted it like the rim of the door was gold and the inside of the door was like magenta. It's all messy and stuff, right? Like, she didn't use painter's tape, nothing. It's just all over the place. By the way, I never saw this happen. I would just come home or like come out of my room and it would be done. Like, it would just happen like overnight or something. I don't even know. There was like a staircase going upstairs, and you know, there's like the handrail with all the different like little like wooden pigs. So she paints the handrail and all the pigs different colors, all different colors. And here's the kicker. She used acrylic paint, dude. So it's just like crusty and flaky and like dry and textured. And again, messy, like no painter's tape. So I'm just like, what the? But hey, I was also 19 and dumb and didn't take my red flags as they came. So I decided it was a good idea to go on a road trip with her, with one of our mutual friends, okay? So one day we're like, hey, let's go to the beach. We live like 6-7 hours from LA. So we're like, let's make a road trip and, you know, we'll get a hotel and stuff. And then she's like, well, hey, I actually have a friend that lives in LA, so like we could go stay with my friend and then we can save money on the hotel, and then if it's bad vibes or something, like we could just go to a hotel then. And we're like, okay, cool, like we need to save money, so whatever. So we take my car, I'm driving, she gives me the address, and at this point we're in LA, we're driving to the address, and next thing I know, the GPS is taking me up Beverly Hills. Like, we're literally like going up the hill. So I'm like, who is this? Like, where is this house? Who do you know that lives here? And she's like, oh, he was an old client of mine. So I forgot to mention, her job was that she was an escort, right? So like a 304. I have no problem with that. But now at this point, she's taking us to an ex-client's house. Basically, like, she works through a company, right? And obviously the company protects her and everything. When she meets up with this guy, we'll call him Paul. When she meets up with Paul, he's like, hey, if you want to cut out the middleman, you can come by anytime, bring your friends, hang out at my house, and I'll pay you all the money instead of you having to split it with the company. And she's like, okay, sounds safe. So now that's where we're going. There's so much more to this. Should I do a part 2?
82% of CIA agents are men, which is crazy to me because one time I used a guy's public Venmo transaction history and his Twitter likes to figure out that he was also seeing a girl across the country. And I just don't believe a man could do that.
Story time about the time I was nearly jumped, and this is the only time it's ever happened to me, and I pray it doesn't happen again. I hope that I'm just too old for this to ever happen. I just filmed this whole story and have to retell it because it didn't save for some reason. So here we go. It was once upon a time back in 2017, me and my two friends, Sienna and Lauren, we were going to the retro style vintage sale. This was like a big thing that used to happen. I don't know if they still do it, but we had like all these bags of like vintage jumpers, and we went to the city. For some reason, we ended up near Southern Cross Station. We wanted to get back to Flinders, so we're like, let's go to Southern Cross to get to Flinders. Now, I want to tell you something real quick about me and Sienna. Me and Sienna, we're very switched on people. We are able to understand our surroundings. We know when to not kind of involve ourselves, when to move away from a problem. Lauren, she doesn't have that skill at this point in her life. She really, really doesn't. So we're at the top of the station. We're looking at the train times. All of a sudden, we hear this ruckus. I don't even know. Fucking, whatever. Me and Sienna straight away, okay, let's just keep looking at the train times and pretend we don't hear all that ruckus coming towards us because we're not going to involve ourselves. You know, the smart thing. Lauren, on the other hand, she is not. Lauren, I swear to God, whenever I think of this, it just makes me mad. Lauren doesn't have that skill, so Lauren decides to look directly at the noise coming towards us. And not only does she look, but she decides to show her facial at these two girls our age, bleach blonde hair, screaming. Do you know that these girls were notorious? Okay, this is the thing. I didn't just get jumped by. Of course, I can't just nearly jumped by anybody. I got to be jumped by notorious bleach blondes that were on the fucking news for jumping people. Like, of course, okay? Trust me. Literally, we saw news articles later about them, like, being these, like, oh, they always scream at everyone. Like, of course, you know, anyways. So, they're coming, these famous girls, they're coming towards us, and they're throwing their chips in the air. Like, I don't know, they lost their shit. I don't know what's going on with them. My friend Lauren can't control herself, looks at them, like, gives them, like, what the fuck are you doing, look? While me and Sienna are still looking like, oh yeah, train times, well that's interesting, get Flinders. All of a sudden we hear, the fuck are you looking at? So we're like, okay, that's it, this is our time. This is actually happening, and like, okay, so this is the way the Southern Cross Station works. When you want to go down to the train, we decide to go down to the train, you can either take the escalator down or the stairs right next to each other. Now, of course, these girls are going towards the escalators, so I think, fuck, I'm not going to stand next to them on the escalators. Let me just go on the stairs. Stupid idea, Annalise, because now I'm like an idiot hobbling down the stairs while they're going down the escalators smoothly, giving it to me. So now they're giving it to me in style while I'm hobbling down the stairs. So one of them's like yelling at my friend Sienna. I don't know what's going on with her. This is the only time in my life where I wasn't completely conscious. Like every moment since I was a child, I've been conscious. At this point, I don't even know. I was just on fight or flight mode. She was like to me, I'll take those little shoes off your feet. What are they, 97s? Girl, I didn't know what to say back. I was like, yeah, they're 97s. Mind you, I sold the shoes after this day because I had PTSD. I was like, yeah, they're 97s. Like, okay, Annalise, yeah, that was such a good fucking comeback, you idiot. Anyways, I don't know how she would have stole them anyway. She was probably about 5'3". And we continued down the stairs and I looked to my right. I don't know where Lauren's gone, by the way. She's caused all this drama and she's bolted. The other girl's like, she's yelling at Sienna, giving it to her. This is when she was being sus. Like, girl was literally sus. She slapped Sienna on the ass. Like, to this day, I still don't know why, like, where that came from. I was really concerned that I was going to get my red style bag stolen. I was gripping onto that shit. I was like, you're not about to take my $10 hoodies, babe. She slaps Sienna on the ass. Sienna goes, don't fucking touch me. Which, to this day, I'm like, I don't know how you did that, Sienna, because I think I would have gone mute if someone did that to me. I don't know what was happening. Like, they're like, yeah, I was like, oh, fucking do this, fucking do that. I don't even know. It all happened in the blink of an eye. I steal these shoes, whatever, slaps her in the ass, grabs her bag, but doesn't do anything, Sienna, like, whatever. I think she, like, moves. Then they get on the train we were going to get on, so we pretend that we weren't going to get on that train, and we just watch them get on the train like this. We watch the door shut. Then we all turn to each other. In this moment, by the way, none of us have communicated to each other. Like, none of us has said, like, what the fuck's happening? We've just been silent. That's when you know it's bad. And then we all just, like, huddled in a circle. We were just like, what the fuck just happened? Yes, a couple of tears were shed. But not in a way of, like, oh my God, but in more of a way of, like, shock tears. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what pisses me off? No one around us even tried to help, like, in that situation. Like, I don't know, maybe they thought that we were, like, rival gangs or something, and that, like, whatever was happening was, like, you know, but it wasn't. We were not even trying to start anything. So I just want to know, if you were ever a girl that tried to, like, fight girls for no reason, like, can you explain why you did that? Is there, like, I just don't understand, because I would have never tried. Trust me though, like, to almost get jumped by notorious bleach blonde girls, and I always think to this day, like, I wonder if they follow me on TikTok. And if you do, why did you do that, bitch? Do you remember me? Do you remember when you said you were going to steal my 97s and I had to sell them because I was so scared? Oh, God. Anyways, I'm good now, guys.
I like to play a little game at home called Refrigerator Jenga, where I try to remove something from the very back without moving any of the items cluttered in front of it. And it's fun because if I win, I get my item and I feel proud of myself. And if I lose, I spend 40 minutes cleaning up marinara and broken glass off the floor.
What is the most desperate thing you've ever done for somebody? I want you to think about it, get that image in your head, and then multiply it by 1,000. And that's the story I'm about to tell you about myself. If your thing is something cute, like I used to sleep with my phone on loud, so if he texted me after the bar, I could wake up and put makeup on and blah, blah. Yeah, I used to do that too. If you were to do a shot every time I do something pathetic in the upcoming story, you'll be blackout drunk on the floor. You'll need an IV. You have alcohol poisoning. One summer I'm backpacking across Alberta, and I know that my ex-boyfriend is somewhere in Alberta at the time. Like text him, I'm like, oh, hey, like I'm in Alberta. Are you here? He's like, no, actually I'm in Vancouver for the next 2 days, and then I come back to Alberta. And I'm like, fuck, because I'm supposed to go to Vancouver in 2 days, meaning we're gonna miss each other. We're gonna miss each other for the rendezvous he doesn't know I've planned. I wonder why he doesn't know that. Oh, because he dumped me for another girl who he was currently dating at the time. Anyway, up the airline, I'm like, okay, I gotta switch my flight to a day earlier now. It cost me $150 in a change fee, plus whatever the difference is in the flights, plus I'm losing the 2 nights of hotels I have in Lake Louise, plus I have nowhere to stay in Vancouver. The only smart thing I do is I say, you know what, I'm gonna go look around Lake Louise before I decide to leave the day I got here. So I don't do anything. I go to Lake Louise, turns out you can walk around it in 1 day, and I actually didn't need 3 days there, which is, I'm not playing devil's advocate. This was still a pathetic story. So I go into the hotel next to the lake, and I'm like drinking and getting fucked up, and there's a guy next to me, and we start talking. He's got to be like 75 years old. He's a pilot, blah, 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 blah. He's flying to Vancouver tomorrow. And I'm like, God, is that you offering me a free flight to Vancouver, even though I will still lose the money I've already paid for the existing flight? Also, I will lose the money I paid for the hotels, but a win is a win. Yo, can I come with you? He's like, yeah, all you got to do is get to the Calgary airport tomorrow morning at 8:30. I'm like, no problem. Get back to my hotel, wasted, book a shuttle from my hotel to the Calgary airport the next morning for 6 a.m. I wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, get outside my hotel, bus isn't there. Looking at my confirmation, it says the Lake Louise Inn. I'm like, yeah, I'm at the Lake Louise Inn, but I see there's another stop called the Lake Louise Shack or something. I'm like, maybe the bus driver got confused and went to the other hotel. I fucking climb a mountain. I swear. It was like, okay, it was a big hill. I get to the top. I'm sweating. The bus isn't there either. So now I start crying. I'm calling the fucking hotline. They don't open till 7 o'clock, but it's only 6:45. I'm like, what do you do if there's a customer service emergency before 7 o'clock? Anyway, at 7:01, they pick up the phone. I'm sobbing. I'm like, I'm gonna miss my flight because of you fuckers. I know. I checked my confirmation. It is all correct. The woman did not give a shit. She goes, please hold. I'm holding. She gets back on the phone. She goes, we're sending a driver. They send me a toothless man who does not believe in seatbelts. He's driving a minivan, but he did bring me a coffee. I have a picture. Here's the picture I sent to my mom. This guy starts gunning it. We get to the fucking airport before the bus that was supposed to pick me up an hour ago did. Why? Because this man's a psycho and I risked my life. But I'm not done risking it because I'm about to get on a plane the size of my big toe with this 75-year-old man, his wife, and his golden retriever. Asks me if I want to hold the controls. Sir, no. I'm afraid of flying. I'm only on this plane because I'm more desperate than I am afraid of death. We land, I don't even know. I want to say a field. It was didn't look like an airport. Then I take a bus, a cab, and the SkyTrain to my friend's sister's couch, where I then call my ex-boyfriend and go, oh my God, I was wrong about my flight. I'm here just to see a man who cheated on me. Can you top that?